Namo Adida Fa. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. For our Dharma lesson, we're reading Ajahn Munindo's book, Unexpected Freedom. Today we're reading a section called Learning from Criticism. I received a letter today from a young monk I know who is currently living out in Asia. He wrote that his whole practice these days is just to feel what it feels like to be totally disrespected. He's living in a situation where he's misunderstood, where people are not supportive of him, and yet he's committed to staying there for the 3 months of the Vasa. He can't get out. He's not starving or going without, but it is humiliating him. In his letter, he writes with equanimity and clarity, "My practice is just learning what it feels like to feel disrespected." This is not a situation that one would set up for anybody, but learning how to feel what it feels like to be disrespected will be invaluable. If he becomes a respected monk and teacher, he will undoubtedly receive a lot of praise, with people telling him how wonderful he is, but there will be well-informed mindfulness of what it feels like to be respected. He won't get so lost in being respected. So it is with praise and blame. When people blame and criticize us, we can ask ourselves what it feels like to be mindful of blame and criticism. If someone praises us, telling us how wonderful we are, we may lose our sense of proportion. They butter us up, we buy into it, and then they can manipulate us, and we feel conned and used. We don't like ourselves, and we also resent them. But why did we get caught up in the first place? Through a lack of mindfulness, a lack of perspective. So the next time we are blamed and criticized, if we can be mindful and feel the feeling of criticism, even feel what it feels like to fail, then the next time we are succeeding or being praised, we'll be able to maintain mindfulness in that too. Sometimes there's clarity and confidence, and at other times there's chaos and confusion. If we give priority to the cultivation of mindfulness, not to what's passing through the mind, not to the specks of dust, then when we're experiencing clarity, there's a sense of presence there too. If we are feeling confident and together, thinking, I've really got it sorted, then we can be aware that that's what it feels like right now. We are riding a wave, but we remember the ocean. We don't become the wave. There can be clarity and order in our lives, but we are aware that it's not a sure thing because everything is constantly changing. The encouragement we have from the Buddha in support of mindfulness is to reflect on the reality that everything is changing. So, when clarity and confidence changes for whatever reason, and instead there is chaos and confusion, disorder and lack of confidence, we don't get lost in it. We realize then that that was the point of our effort. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Namo Adira Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.